H-Town takeover in our main and co-main events at Fury FC 96, and Houston's own Jacob Silva takes on Luis Garule, and Hector Sainz is taking on Tedrick Macklin. But first, we get things started with a packed prelims broadcast right here from the Imagine venues in Houston. It is time for these fighters to unleash the Fury, and welcome in, I'm Rahil Ramzanli, joined by the black belt himself, Michael Alexander, and UFC veteran Alex Morono. And let's start with you, Alex, because you've got a guy that has gone to the next level, the Omega level, fighting in the prelims.
Yeah, Omega level Josh Thomas fighting Josh Motsinger. Both guys undefeated at pros, both guys very well-rounded. That's going to be an excellent fight.
How about you, Michael? I know you're excited to watch some guys as well in this prelims broadcast.
You guys know I love submissions, and I love a good submission artist. Sebastian Oyervidez's last fight of the prelims is going to be unbelievable. All submissions. Can't wait to see this dude.
Well, let's get things started and join the fourth member of our broadcast crew, the Fury FC Hall of Famer, the best dressed man in MMA. Here he is, Wayne Leggett.
Good afternoon, fight fans, and welcome to Escapade at Imagine Venues in Houston, Texas. This is Fury FC 96, Garule versus Silva. But first, please welcome to the cage for your opening preliminary contest, Isay Garcia.
All right, Michael, Isay Garcia, first man out today here at the Imagine venues, Fury FC 96 in Puebla, Mexico. Second time here inside the Fury FC cage for Isay Garcia. Got that huge win over Dylan Aguilar, but it was a win going in. He really knew that he was in control the whole time.
Yeah, and when you're at a camp like he's at, you see Diego Lopez walking him out. Diego Lopez, a Fury veteran, now one of the most popular fighters in the UFC. But not just that, it is a very tough camp where they're at. Diego Lopez, Alexa Grasso. This is a champions camp, and so I expect champions training camps out of these guys, even when you're the first fight on the undercard for Fury Fighting Championship.
It's going to be a fun fight to get us going, and Isay Garcia, 19 years old, so much potential, and when you're training and around greatness like Diego Lopez, it just sparks something in you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it has to. And then you see kind of the trajectory that Diego has gone on, that Josh Van has gone on, that these guys have gone on right through this same gate doors. It's got to be exciting for a kid this young.
All right, Isay is inside. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Rommel Castellanos.
Rommel Castellanos, second time inside the Fury FC cage, coming off that debut loss to Dimas Chapa in February. Lost in round 2, got finished, but it's one of those things, right? Like, get that fight, get it going, get that pro career underway, kind of see how different that competition speed is as a pro.
Yeah, the list is long for greatness that has happened after they lost their pro debut. There's a ton of guys that we could go on and on about that lost their first fight, and then from there, went on an 8 or 9 fight win streak and are now fighting on the next level. Anytime I see a fighter that has this on their win record, even as an amateur, I always point it out because of how rare it is. Rommel Castellanos has a win by ankle lock in MMA. Don't know if you know how hard that is to do, but it's extremely difficult.
Castellanos looking really good, looks in great shape. One thing, just talking to people around the fight scene here in Houston, all the 4-ounce fighters love him. Just so much respect for Castellanos.
Yeah, and a lot of times, and I'm not saying this is the case with him, but sometimes you've got guys that are really good in the gym and then can't put it together in the cage. Rommel, I think he's both. I think he's one of those guys, the reason they like him. They want to see him put it together in the cage. The loss really doesn't mean anything. If he lost to a very tough Dimas Chapa, you're going to see later on in the afternoon. But Rommel Castellanos, they love him because of the type of guy he is. They love him because of the fighter he is, because of the teammate he is. So they expect big things, and we expect big things. This is going to be a great fight.
Castellanos is inside. A little glove touch between competitors. Let's get our introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening preliminary contest, brought to you by OnlyFans, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC Featherweight Division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Puebla, Mexico, he holds a professional record of 1 win, no losses. Here is Isay El Diablo Garcia. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This 4-ounce fighter stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and he weighed in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, by way of Santa Barbara, Honduras, today he looks for his first win as a pro. Here is Rommel Castellanos. Your referee in charge, Danielle Guevara.
Danielle Guevara calling the fights here. Calling the shots here. Here we go, round 1 underway.
Both guys have so much talent, so much poise, but at the same time, you want to start out strong and fast and see what the other guy's going to bring. So I wonder what kind of pace this is going to start with. That was my big question on this fight.
Well, for 2 guys with one professional fight each, I mean, you can see how relaxed they are. I mean, you can see this is not, everything is very, very tight. This is not your typical 2 guys making a pro debut. These are very, very good, seasoned fighters.
And as we mentioned, where you train matters so much. The quality of training partner for Castellanos, training at 4-Ounce Fight Club, one of the premier gyms here in the city of Houston. And you mentioned Isay. I mean, you're hanging around greatness, right? You're hanging around a guy that...
Ooh, Isay Garcia puts him down. Rommel Castellanos is in some trouble, but he reverses, takes Isay, puts him on his back. Very, very nice. Looked like Isay may have grabbed the cage a little bit there on the way up. It's hard to tell. Didn't help him much, though. He's still on the bottom. Strong crossface here from Rommel Castellanos.
Castellanos' corner calling for that right side underhook. And now we get a chance to look at that ground game for both fighters.
Yeah, Castellanos pretty content with staying here. He's in half guard, but Isay does have a butterfly hook in there, so I guess you'd call this a 3/4 guard, but if Castellanos reaches up with his right hand and pushes that knee through, he may be able to go to the mount fairly easily, but that also may give Garcia a chance to explode out of there and get up, so being very calculated with his advancement here in this position. There's the butterfly hooks, both butterfly hooks in now. He'll use that to elevate the hips. He gives his back.
Back to the feet we go. Definitely been the combinations of Isay Garcia so far on the feet.
Yeah, you see the stance and everything. It looks just like Diego Lopez in there with his stance. And
looping uppercut just misses for Garcia. Oh, man, big connect there.
Big right hand by Castellanos, followed by left. Castellanos starting to land now.
Under 2 minutes left in round 1. Castellanos, looks like the game plan was to get this fight to the ground at times, but he's actually having some good success right now on the feet.
Got those longer limbs. He's definitely got longer arms. He's taller than Isay Garcia, so able to connect from spots in the pocket. He's able to make that pocket too long.
Oh,
but
man.
Isay Garcia inside now. This fight is over. This fight is going to be called. If he lands a few more of those punches, Isay needs to keep going. Castellanos is in desperation mode here.
Castellanos just grabbing onto the arms of Garcia.
Yeah, full mount now from Garcia.
Under a minute to work.
Isay looking like he may want to switch to that arm bar, but Castellanos may be trying to bait him with that arm bar to get him to stop punching him. I don't blame him. Here we go, almost to the back. Yeah, it looked like Castellanos was baiting him a little bit. It's that ninja choke. I can't tell if he's got it locked up on the other side. Nope, just an underhook.
$20 seconds left. Castellanos with another shot, trying to complete it, has one leg. He does complete it.
Yeah, it goes from and switches from a single leg to a blast double leg.
And now Castellanos unloading.
Man, what a first round.
And we knew this fight was going to be a good fight to get us going.
Wow.
But how about the ebbs and flows of this first round? We saw Garcia hitting with some good combinations on the feet. Fight gets to the ground. Castellanos controls. We stand back up. Castellanos then has some great combinations, and we'll see our replay here in just a second. But that final stretch, does that sway anything for you, or is it still a Garcia
I don't think
round?
so, man. I think Garcia landed, some devastating punches there. Even though Castellanos was landing some, I mean, Garcia put Castellanos down twice in the first round, so I think that's going to carry much more weight. And, the fight probably could have been stopped there, and nobody would have said much. Good on Danielle to let that go. But because Castellanos comes back and, ends the round on top. Very, very good round. Very entertaining fight so far. Very competitive. Castellanos is very tough. And you got to wonder if that messes with the psyche of Isay Garcia any, that, I just can't get this guy to stay down.
These are the kind of fights that both guys want. Something that's a little bit challenging. See what you're made of. A fight that's definitely going to make both of them better fighters. And there's Castellanos opening up with a combination, but Garcia slipping. Ooh, good stiff jab.
Oh, there he goes again.
He just walked into that right.
Yeah, that looked like slow motion a little bit. Castellanos has got to keep this fight long. He has got to keep him out of the pocket. He's throwing that jab out there. He's got to continue to do that. He's got to throw that long jab. And Castellanos is coming right back now. Some good shots of his own. Lands that knee. In for this double leg. He's got his hands together. He may be able to finish this. Garcia's got the hands around the neck. His wrist is not in quite far enough to see all that space between the elbow and the head. Yeah, Garcia on the bottom has that guillotine locked up. It's a little tighter now, but he's going to have to get on his hip. It'll be very difficult to finish this flat, but he does have it. He's got him locked up in guard.
Ooh, is this going to be enough? Castellanos just waiting it out, seeing if Garcia's going to give it a bigger squeeze. Yep, he rides it out. It's so hard to finish that from there.
It is. It's really hard, especially whenever Garcia's, his neck was up against the cage, so his head is elevated. It's really difficult to get pressure backwards when your head is elevated. So you want to move that around to the side, move your head away from the cage, and of course Castellanos knows if I can keep his head up there, I can keep the pressure off. So Castellanos kept him there, and eventually Garcia let go. Imagine that lactic acid started to build up in those arms.
Yeah. Good timed elbow there from Rommel.
Garcia looking over to his corner for some direction. Castellanos says, hey, pay attention.
Here's the direction. Start working your way out of this.
Yeah, you're in a bad spot. Get up. UFC superstar Diego Lopez over in his corner over there.
Diego Lopez has a busy night ahead of him. As another fighter he's going to be cornering on our main card coming up at 4:30 p.m. on UFC Fight Pass.
And what a card it is today. Unbelievable card.
And our feature bout on our main card, Alberto Trujillo taking on Imanol Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's that for those of you at home, if you don't tune into any other one, that fight may go 3 rounds, but it will go 100 miles an hour for 3 rounds.
Inside the cage right now, Castellanos controlling Garcia, giving him all sorts of trouble. Anytime Garcia makes a hard move to get out, Castellanos is on top of it. And now back to the feet we go. Let's see whose gas tank took more of a hit. In that last sequence on the ground for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. Oh, man, what a kick there for Castellanos.
Yeah, beautiful head kick. His hips were not extended on that, so it landed like with the power of the foot. Ooh, big double leg takedown.
Man.
That's a big takedown. Took him right into his corner.
Under a minute to work with this now. It's been all Rommel Castellanos.
And Rommel, you got to remember, he got dropped at the beginning of round 2. And here we are, you know, with a few minutes of control time here on the ground. This is going to be a tough one to call. I think round 1 went to Garcia. But, man, if this round ends this way, I think this one may have went to Rommel Castellanos. And
oh, yeah.
We've got a 1-1 round. Even though he hit him again, dropped him at the beginning. It's been all Castellanos since then.
Yeah, I'm with you. This round 2 for me is a clear Castellanos round. Control, got him back to the ground.
Yeah, did land some significant strikes.
Yep.
That kick to the head, you know, landed his jabs a little longer. He's doing a better job of feigning his takedowns. And, you know, Garcia is really reacting to those feints. So he's able to land a few punches. Able to keep Garcia kind of on his heels.
So unofficially, probably 1-1 right now. Not sure how that first round is scored, but I'm pretty confident round 2 is Castellanos, and we took a look at some of the replays here for round 2.
Yeah, we saw the highlight for Garcia there at the first, but it was all Castellanos after that. Castellanos with a double leg takedown there, going right into his corner. So good instruction from his coaches there as they were on the mat. Looks like it could be 1-1. Isay Garcia, Rommel Castellanos to start off Fury Fighting Championship 96. Been very entertaining so far.
By the way, we still have 4 more fights for you on our prelims broadcast, including Drake Lopez taking on Tonio Figueredo. I'm really excited for that fight. But right now, round 3 of our opening fight on our prelims broadcast. Shout out to OnlyFans sponsoring our Fight Clock. Make sure you subscribe to the Fury FC OnlyFans page.
There was that feint again that he's feigning his takedowns. Isay Garcia is reacting really heavily to those takedowns. And Castellanos is coming up firing.
Rommel's corner calling for those switch kicks, saying keep him away with the kicks. There's another one.
Ooh, Garcia lands one of his own.
Garcia says, here you go.
Yeah, take that.
You want to know how these feel?
Ooh, big right hand from Castellanos. Big looping left hand, misses. Isay Garcia going to those leg kicks here in the 3rd round.
Oh man, that was a good connect there. You saw the sweat fly off of Garcia's face.
Castellanos did a much better job in the second round of keeping that pocket long, you know, making it harder for Garcia to reach him with those shorter arms. You know, he's taller, he's longer. But when Garcia gets inside that pocket and gets in toward the elbows, man, he's doing some damage in there to Castellanos. Hasn't been able to do it so far here in the third round, but got to get in there tighter in that pocket, land like he did at the beginning of the first and the second. Both guys looking fresh. Another takedown here. Castellanos is going to elevate those legs. Here we go. Garcia's got to know, I mean, hopefully his corner told him, you know, this could be 1-1, so the winner is here in the third round. It's going to be decided here in the third round, because he has got to get up. They've got to see some urgency out of him. He needs some takedowns or some knockdowns or something, or to finish this fight on the feet. Just haven't seen so far that he's able to, you know, hang Castellanos on the ground.
And now Castellanos getting the back. Got one hook in on Garcia.
Castellanos almost a little overzealous there. Needs to put that, I need to get some heavy weight on that knee. Instead, Garcia pushes him in the half guard. Here we go with that butterfly hook again. He'll try for that butterfly guard, elevate those hips. He's going to extend him out, then give himself room to stand up. And again, difficult to do with his head on the cage. There was that hook flip attempt. All it did was create some space for him, for Garcia to get his feet underneath him, and hoping to use that stronger base to be able to stand up. And doing that, he gave his back here.
Rommel looking to sit into this.
And Rommel's being heavy on him.
Hands connected. Here's that dump attempt.
These guys are starting to get a little slippery now.
About a minute left in round 3. If there's something left in the tank for Garcia, it needs to be used right now in this big escape.
Yeah, he's got to make some space here and get back to the center of the cage. Here's Isay jumping guard here, pulling this guillotine.
Angle not there.
Yeah, the angle's just not there. And again, with his head up against the cage, it's going to be difficult. He needs to get his hip to the mat. You kind of turn the angle there and then wrench on that. You really need to be able to pull your head back. It's going to be really difficult to get it from there. You can. It's just really difficult. You know, alignment's a big deal when it comes to strangling someone. If your spine's out of alignment, it's really difficult to muster up the strength to get that done.
All right, so we will go to the judges' scorecard for the first time tonight. Wow. Round 1, it was Isay Garcia. Almost had the fight finished. Castellanos survives and then takes control the rest of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was an entertaining round 1. Castellanos comes back after a pretty grim start, and then finishes the round on top, but still probably a Garcia round. Round 2, Castellanos got dropped. It didn't look devastating. It was kind of hard to understand what happened there, but it was just a glancing blow, and he went down, but he got right back up and dominated the round since then. So it had to be a Castellano round. So we'll see. That third round, I think it was a Castellano round, so I don't know. This is going to be very close, but interesting to see who the judges pick.
All right, Michael is going to head inside to speak to the winner. And while he does that and the judges are calculating everything up, let's take a minute and talk about tonight's main card. We got Luis Garule and Jacob Silva headlining this entire card in H-Town. 8-0 Luis Garule against the Fury Hall of Famer Jacob Silva. That's coming your way 4:30 p.m. on UFC Fight Pass. But now, let's see how the judges scored this one. Here's Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for your decision. Brought to you by Live Oak Texas Vodka. Judge William Dean scores the fight 30-27, Castellanos. Judge John Cave scores the fight 29-28, Garcia. And Judge Ricardo Delgado scores the fight 29-28, declaring your winner by split decision, Rommel Castellanos.
I'm here with your winner, Rommel Castellanos. Okay. I'm here with your winner, Rommel Castellanos. Rommel, how does this feel to get your first pro win under your belt?
Me siento muy bien, agradecido que vino mi familia y mis amigos que vinieron a apoyarme y pues orgulloso de representar a mi país.
So Rommel, in the first round, you it looked like you got dropped in the first round, and then you came back and you basically took over the fight after that. How close was it you to being out in that first round?
Sí, trato de pues dar lo mejor y pues sí me tocó, me pegó muy fuerte y pues me caí, pero puro para adelante, compa. ¿Entiendes?
Yeah, the first round the punch did hurt him in the first round, but he came back and had to fight for it.
Well, an opponent like Isay Garcia, he comes from Diego Lopez's camp, the very high-level fighters there. How did you feel? Were you confident that you could win this fight like this?
Sí, yo también tengo un buen equipo. Estoy muy confiado de ellos y lo que ellos me enseñan. Entonces vengo acá a la cage muy confiado 100%.
I didn't hear anything he said, but he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. All right, your winner, Rommel Castellanos.
Congratulations to Rommel Castellanos getting that first win as a pro. And what a moment there for him. Final pictures. You just heard the fans cheering on Rommel, such a beloved fighter at his gym, and everyone came out to support him. Huge win. Let's get to our next fight and meet our next fighter.
Motsinger to the blue corner.
It's a battle of undefeated. Josh Motsinger coming here for the first time to Fury. Last time out, got the unanimous decision win in November 2023 over Shelton Sales, but hasn't fought since, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's been working on himself a little bit. Even though at 2-0, sometimes you can have a fight that you're not proud of or you're not happy with. Maybe that decision, he thought he should have done better and some stuff he wanted to work on. So there's many reasons why you take time off. He's 2-0. He's 28 years old. He needs to get active. So hopefully he's worked on that, but he is a guy who can finish fights. He had 5 amateur fights, and all but one of those went to a decision. And as we know, he expects a war out of this fight. But as you know, these fights got to end. You got to end these fights if you want to make a name for yourself.
Josh Motsinger trains out there, hangs out with Shamik Harvey, a fighter we're very familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to see Harvey back in here. Talented fighter. Coming all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. Trains at Carolina Combat. And Motsinger, man, looking really good and stout for a 145er.
Yeah, really lean, really tall. Yeah, this is a big 145er.
All right, he is inside. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Josh Thomas.
Josh Thomas, Omega level, the kickboxing style, the fighter that everyone's talking about. Alex can't stop raving about him. He's like, Josh Thomas is the real deal. Second time inside the Fury cage, 2-0, undefeated guys, 2 Joshes. Loser has to give up the name. I mean, that's the only way, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. The loser has to go down to one name, just their last name. But he won his debut by knockout in 7 seconds. So, no matter what you think about this guy, you saw him coming out, he's warming up his foot, and, maybe he's predicting a head kick knockout here. Very, very tough to do against a guy like Josh Motsinger. But you're right, Raheel. Josh Thomas is a real deal. His striking is good. His ground game is good. He's very, very good everywhere.
Omega level is inside. Let's get our introductions.
The following contest, brought to you by DeNunaLawFirm.com, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC Featherweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and he weighed in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Charlotte, North Carolina, his professional record stands at 2 wins, no losses. Here is Josh Motsinger. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, and he too weighed in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, his professional record also stands at 2 wins, no losses. This is Josh Omega Level Thomas. Your referee in charge of the action, Jeff Rexroad.
All right, Motsinger, Thomas, 2 undefeated prospects. Let's get this thing going. Blue gloves for Motsinger, red for Omega level Josh Thomas. Oh, man, thud of a kick there.
Yeah, both guys looking very focused, and neither of those guys wanting to let go of that egg on the end of their record. Both guys 2-0. Both guys dominant in their performances.
Josh Thomas in his final amateur fight got a 7-second finish. His pro debut went the distance, which, look, you want to get finishes, but not a bad thing in your debut. You get a chance to really feel all 3 of those 5-minute rounds. Get to showcase what you have. Up against the cage.
Yeah, Josh Thomas manhandled Josh Motsinger in that takedown. He picked him up. He didn't slam him down all that hard, but he picked him up like he was pretty light. And it looks to me like Motsinger's the bigger of the 2 fighters. Strength-wise, I don't know. That was pretty impressive.
5'10" on the height for Motsinger. But the reach advantage to Josh Thomas, the 5'8" fighter with a 73-inch reach.
Oh, big right hand. Motsinger acknowledging that right hand with a smile. That usually means that hurt. Big right hand. Motsinger just misses with that front kick.
And huge takedown there from Motsinger. Just exploded out and timed it perfectly, and now working to get the hooks in on Thomas.
He's got both hooks in. Thomas doing the right thing. He's out of position right now. He's got double under. He's got he doesn't have a seatbelt grip, so both arms are under his armpits and around his chest. He's changed it a little bit now, trying to push the head down, create some space for that seatbelt. Motsinger gave up a hook there, and he's a little high, so it looks like the position may change here.
Oh,
very
man.
nice.
The big knee just misses. Good work up there for Omega level.
Ooh. Hey, 1-2 there from Thomas. Oh, uppercut from Motsinger.
man.
He barely missed on that knee.
But might have paid the price. Opened himself up. And the bigger of the fighters, Motsinger, takes us back to the ground. Let's see if that defense can get going again, Michael.
Yeah, Motsinger keeps, kind of getting at a 45 angle when he's on the back without both hooks in, and it's costing him the position. 2 cases now. Well, 1.5 cases. Yeah, there he goes. He lost the position. Just a little technical fix there that he could do to not lose that position. And man, if you just feel those positions, Raheel, you got to scramble to a positive position. You don't want to go from the top to the bottom or from someone's back to the bottom. Definitely. A single leg here. Oh, nice flying knee there from Josh Thomas. Good sprawl. Matzinger expelling a lot of energy here.
About 45 seconds left in round 1.
Very technical battle here. And, ooh,
that was a big knee.
Yeah, I think that hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that was
may have hit him right on the tailbone.
Yeah. That wasn't on the soft part of the cheek.
No, that sounded terrible. Yeah, Motsinger again, kind of off to the side here. They're going him to try that kind of leverage roll to get him to his back, able to get both hooks in, but he's got his feet crossed. He's got to be careful with that.
Heard the 10-second clap, and we will go to round 2. A big round for Josh Motsinger coming into Houston, taking on Josh Thomas, H-Town's own.
Yeah, what an entertaining first round. I mean, 2 very hungry guys in here trying to keep that undefeated record. Josh Thomas started out landing some big shots. Motsinger came back, lands a few shots of his own. Thomas gave up his back a couple times, but no worse for the wear. Never in danger of being submitted there, but also didn't take any damage from there. I mean, Motsinger didn't even throw any punches whenever he had his back, especially whenever Thomas was on top, but he had his back. He never threw any punches, and never really tried to improve the hand position to get that strangle. But we'll just have to see. I mean, Motsinger had some shots that did some damage on Thomas, and vice versa. Very, very good, very, very close first round. I think the damage was the same, and the difference might have just been the control time on the back or heel.
Yeah, I think so too. That when it's that close, it could be that factor. Motsinger has really crisp stand-up, really nice, tight, technical. Oh man. Now Omega level. Walking down Motsinger.
Very nice. Motsinger almost with that aggressive hook flip there. And in their scramble, Josh Thomas ends up on top. In half guard. He's trapping that arm.
First chance to see Omega level now in control on the ground.
Yeah, those butterfly hooks, really difficult to throw punches when someone's got 2 butterfly hooks in, because they're going to elevate your hips, put your weight down on your shoulders. Ooh, Josh Thomas is on the back now. Josh, very, very good from this position. If you've listened to Alex, our commentary partner, who is his coach, talk about this position, that rear naked choke. It's the most common choke. It's the one most finished in MMA.
Very good reversal there for Motsinger.
Yeah, very explosive.
Man, very high level fight on the ground. Both guys are showcasing everything they have in their bag.
And I like how Thomas is using his hip to put pressure on the chest of Motsinger. Matzinger he's elevating that leg with his feet, his head's down, so able to be strong in that position. Matzinger still reversed the position. Now they're opposite. Now Matzinger on top. Gonna try the same thing and try to elevate those legs. Try to get him to turn. Expose his back. There he goes. Got one hook in. Like I said, Matzinger's got to start throwing punches from these positions. He's got to try to do some damage. He goes. At least he's going over the shoulder now.
And grinding across the chin of Thomas is Josh Motsinger. Really no attempt there, just to annoy him more than anything.
Yeah, I wanted to get that crook of the elbow over the mouth and nose, maybe labor the breathing a little bit.
That's something you just do to me during the broadcast.
That's right.
Randomly, just keep me on my toes, just to remind me.
That's right. If the camera was on us all the time, you see me muffler choking Raheel every now and then.
For no reason other than just to say, hey, stay on your toes, buddy.
That's right. I'd waterboard him if they'd let me. 1:45 left here in the second round. Very competitive second round also. Very, very close. These guys have been back and forth. Matzinger's been in control here for about a minute, but nothing but scrambles and back and forth up until then. Matzinger both hooks in on the back again.
Now trying to get that arm across, but good hand defense here from Omega level, Josh Thomas.
Yeah, this just increased the difficulty to escape that. Matzinger with that figure four. And gripping the outside of the thigh with that other foot, the lever foot from the figure four. Thomas doing a good job of staying out of choke position. He's got to clear those legs. Really difficult. So he really needs to put that foot down, the figure four side. He needs to put that foot down on the mat. Very difficult, though, whenever you're up against the cage. It's really difficult to get into that side. Not a lot of room there to work.
.30 seconds left in round two.
Very close round here. About 15 seconds left, and you got to think this is a Motsinger round for sure if they finish this way.
Yeah, definitely in a round, as you mentioned, that was close. I think the final minute of having Josh Thomas's back and trying to go for a submission. It wasn't just holding him.
Yeah, I mean, he took his back with a little over 2 minutes left in the round and kept it until the horn went off. So, you know, very close up until then. So you think that's got to be the difference again. Kind of been the story of the night. And, you know, we saw earlier, you know, there was a judge that had 30-27 for our first fight. Didn't really understand that, but yeah, I mean, we see how the judges are scoring. You just never know. It looks like they're on some opposite ends of strategy for judging tonight. Yeah, good takedowns by both guys. Great scrambles. Man, if you want to see MMA scrambles galore, this fight, this second round had it. Both guys in control for different points in time. Both guys escaping. Motsinger ending the round in this position on the back of Josh Thomas. Again, not able to do much damage. He's not striking much from the back. Like to see a little more of that, a little more damage, you know, soften him up a little bit. Make him pay attention to those hands.
All right, round three. We have seen round three in both of our fights so far. Kick there, slip after for Omega level.
Probably two fights that we expected, you know, one of the two guys to finish the other one. And we thought they were going to be brawls. This has been more of a grappling match, and you know, it's been a really high-level grappling match. It hasn't been boring at all. Tons of scrambles, you know, good exchanges in the stand-up. And you can just tell these are two prospects that they're very hungry. They want to get these fights. They definitely don't want to lose any fights.
I also like
fighting
that.
like that.
I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I also like that both guys 2-0 are not saying no.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
That's under the chin. That's around the neck. He's only got one hand here. Ooh,
man,
is he going to be able to connect this?
Is this going to be enough for Josh Motsinger? He is squeezing with everything he has, and that is it.
That's it.
That is a tap for Josh Motsinger, coming all the way from Charlotte to get the tap of Omega level, Josh Thomas.
Yeah, what an entertaining fight. I mean, great scrambles. Man, got his back and finally got that choke in. You know, he had success taking his back basically the entire fight. Just had a hard time staying there, and then finally, on the transition down to the ground, when they fell to the ground, that's when he got it under the chin. Josh Thomas just could not ever recover and get that arm out from underneath the chin. Great win by Josh Motsinger.
Michael is going to head inside. We take a look at that tap one more time. A third round finish for Josh Motsinger. What a moment for the 28-year-old who moves this record to 3-0, hands the first loss ever to Omega level. Very excited to see more of Josh Motsinger inside the Fury FC cage. But first, let's make things official. Here is Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 1 minute, 5 seconds into the third and final round, declaring your winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Josh Motsinger.
I'm here with your winner, Josh Motsinger. Josh, you come in here from the East Coast, you come down to enemy territory, a very tough, undefeated fighter. Both of you undefeated. One of you is going to leave here with a loss on their record. That's not you today, my friend.
Yeah, first I just want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and my family, my team. I got the best support system around me, Carolina Combat. We got my boy Shamik, who just won a title back east. My boy Brian Battle coming up in Paris. My boy John about to get a dub too. So best team around me, and just thank you for my support system.
Well, Josh, you know, usually the grappling matches can get a little boring. Those were not boring at all. Those were scramble after scramble after scramble, and the exchanges were good on the feet. It was a very, very closely matched fight.
Yeah, he's a lot tougher than I expected, and a lot stronger, a little bigger than I expected too. So, but yeah, man, Josh Thomas he's a beast. Shout out to him for stepping in the cage and taking the fight. But just got to mix it up a little bit, stay calm, stay collected, and yeah, just small adjustments, you know.
So, Josh, one more thing. You took his back a few times during the fight. You had a little bit of a problem keeping it until that last exchange. How'd it feel to finally sink in that choke?
Yeah, he was doing really good at hand fighting, but I took his back, and then right away I just had to climb that shoulder up and keep my head tight. Listen to my coaches. Shout out Coach Tom Ziegler. And, yeah, get the win, so it felt really good.
Well, congratulations on the win, Josh. We look forward to seeing you again. Your winner, Josh Motsinger.
Congratulations to Josh Motsinger. And the fans are excited here for Fury FC 96. 3 more fights left on our prelims broadcast. And then we go to UFC Fight Pass at 4:30 p.m. And we'll take a moment here to say hi to everyone, talk about a few things. Excited to be here on a beautiful Sunday here in the city of Houston. It's been a while, Mike. We had about a month and a half off between cards, and we are returning with a bang. So let's talk about Fury FC 96. The first fight out the gate, Liv Beerley, coming off her debut loss, is going to be taking on Nadia Jamil, and this is going to be a hell of a fight to get us going.
Yeah, Olivia Beerley, you know, I know she wasn't happy with her pro debut. She lost that fight. Really looking to get back in here and show the real Liv Beerley what she thinks is the real Liv Beerley. And I expect to see that, but man, Shamil is so tough. She's so good. This is going to be a very, very tough fight for both ladies.
Yeah, the Muay Thai background fighter. She is a Muay Thai champion.
Yes.
So Nadia is ready to get that one going. And we have, by the way, 8 fights on that main card. And let's go to our co-main and main events because Tedrick Macklin, Hector Sainz. Hector Sainz is one of the most cool, collect, calm fighters I've ever seen. One of my favorite fighters. I've been open about this.
Yeah.
Against another guy I'm so high on in Tedrick Macklin coming off his first loss. And you and I were talking about this. The best way to say is both these guys are mirror images.
Yeah, I mean, they're really, skill level wise, they're really close. The fighting style is really close to the same. Tedrick a little more wrestling. Hines a little more jiu-jitsu. But other than that, man, their striking style's the same. And, Macklin coming off his very first loss ever in maybe a Fight of the Year candidate very early in the year against Devin Dixon. And, Hines coming off that loss to Mansour Kira. But, both guys very, very hungry to get back in there and get a win. But, man, this is my fight of the night. This is one I picked for fight of the night. I think this was going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. And then our main event, Luis Garule taking on Jacob Silva, which is every time Silva is inside the cage, we get one more look at him. He's a Hall of Famer here at Fury FC.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see him take on Luis Garule, who just came off a huge win against Alberto Trujillo.
Yeah.
And that was a fight that we had kind of circled as the winner of this one is going to elevate and be in that conversation for could he get a shot. And Garule got that win, and look, he didn't get it, but he has a tough challenge and another chance to prove what he is made of against Silva.
Yeah, it's no secret. Luis Garule is a talented fighter. His last 3 fights have went to decision, and he, if we could give him any advice, I mean, he has got to get a finish of a top-level guy, and Jacob Silva is exactly that. I mean, Jacob Silva, former champion in this division. He's, like you said, he's a Hall of Famer. He is very tricky. He may have some tricks up his sleeve for Luis Garule. This is going to be a very good fight, very entertaining fight. Luis Garule never stops moving forward. Jacob Silva never stops at all. So this is going to be a very good fight. I don't expect I expect a lot of risks to be taken. Yep. I expect a big fight there, and I do not expect it to go the distance. I'm going to call that either it's a submission by Jacob Silva or Luis Garule is going to get him with some ground and pound. It's going to be one or the other. But this is a very good main card.
Hey, let's take a look at our upcoming schedule here for Fury FC. We are back in action October 6th for Fury 97, then Fury 98 on November 3rd, and then Submission Hunter Pro 94 on November 10th. Get your tickets at furyfc.tv. You can watch all of these on UFC Fight Pass. And by the way, if you want to win tickets to an upcoming Fury event, make sure you follow Fury on Instagram at Fury Fighting, our VP of Talent. Richard Burmaster said that we are going to be doing a lot of giveaways, so make sure you follow us at Fury Fighting. Look us up, give us that follow, and you'll be entered, hopefully, or you'll see contests and get entered to win. I saw earlier today, Diego Lopez and our friends at Space City Collective, they're giving away a pair of some sneakers. And I was,
where do I get those?
We're not eligible. I quit. I want to be eligible.
Yeah, I'm going to take a leave of absence really quick and see if I can grab those shoes. Yeah, Space City Collective, I love it. I bought a ton of shoes from them.
Yep.
I'm a sneakerhead myself. I have 120-something pairs of shoes.
Wow.
And I love going to Space City Collective and just breaking the bank.
Here's a little pro tip. If you want to sell your sneakers as well, Space City Collective, they will buy from you, so they are awesome, man. Just love the guys. They're great people, and I love them collaborating with Diego Lopez, who we've seen go there and buy a lot of stuff as well.
Oh, yeah. And, Diego Lopez, for my money, might be the nicest guy in MMA. Yep. We've met a ton of people here at the UFC level and every other level, but, man, he is one of the nicest guys you will ever meet, one of the best human beings, and also a savage fighter. saw what he did to Brian Ortega, at the Sphere just last weekend. An amazing show put on by the UFC and an amazing performance put on by Diego Lopez.
Amazing history lesson put on by the UFC. Man, before every fight, you got a little piece of education about the Mexican culture and history of Mexico, which was awesome. You see our fans are hyped up. We're going to do a little crowd work. You know what? Let's get some crowd shots. We still have 3 more fights left on our prelims broadcast, so we will get to those. But, hey, we've got a little time here.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the crowd. Everybody's looking. I see a Nirvana shirt. Every time I see a band shirt, got to go up to them. You see our medics there. You see our young fans as well, having a great time.
We see whoever that is.
Yep. Our table here, hanging out.
Here we go. This is some crowd work. Let them know you're there, cameraman.
Oh,
there's the Jacob Silva fans.
Jacob Silva head ready to go. The T-shirt on as well. Alex Morono is back with us. Alex, how you doing, man?
What's going on, guys?
A tough loss there for Omega level, but we were talking about this. Both guys undefeated, and shout out to both of them taking this fight because that fight went to 3 rounds. You got a lot of data, you got a lot of things, and you tested yourself as well. I know it didn't go the way you wanted, but still, one of those fights that he's going to go back and watch and fix a lot of things. Yeah,
we also knew this was by far his best opponent, just from record. And he was actually bigger. We knew he was going to be big and muscular, but he was big in the cage. And I talked to Josh, naturally disappointed in himself, but had some cool stuff to work on. And I told him, I was like, I know how this feels. I know it's the worst feeling in the world, but as your coach, I'm very proud of you. Fought very well, and we just got to tweak some certain things. So that was a good scrap. But yeah, we knew how good Motsinger was, and we knew how hard of a fight it would be.
Yeah, amazing scrambles throughout that. I love those scrambles, and anytime there's a lot of takedowns or a lot of grappling, you may expect, if you just heard that, you may expect, probably a boring fight. Not at all.
No.
Man.
Yeah.
Great scrambles, for both guys. Both guys got the back. Both, it was back and forth. I mean, that fight finished. One way or the other, somebody finished it. But man, I would have hated if that would have went to the scorecards. I would have hated to be a judge there.
Going into 2, we're like, we don't know if we won the first, and then going into 3, we don't know if we won the third. So yeah, it was tight. So our plan was to finish round 3 super strong. But yeah, good fight. Looking forward to seeing both guys fight here again.
Hey, look at that familiar face right there. Justice Torres getting ready to fight on October 6th. I believe he is scheduled to fight.
Let's sign that kid up. If he's not scheduled to fight, let's get him in there. Look at those hands. Pay attention, Sean Shelby.
The next crop of Fury fighters are right here.
Yeah, cool T-shirt. Is that somebody's walkout shirt?
Yeah.
El Animalito. I probably said that wrong.
No, that's right. El Animalito.
I just didn't use the accent.
That's Spanish for the animal.
Yes.
Alex fluent Spanish also, I see.
Yeah, that was Jacob Silva's new walkout T-shirt, the little animal.
Nice. Yeah, great crowds here. If you've never been to a Fury show live, there's a couple of venues that I suggest you come to, and this is one of them. Yep. A lot of our fights here in Houston are at this venue. It's one of my favorite venues to call a fight at because, the crowd is really close to us. There's a second level to it. There's not a bad seat in this house, but man, this is one of my favorite venues to call fights at.
All right, let's get things going. You see our beautiful ring card girls having a great time. We will keep things going and meet our next fighter. Here's Wayne Leggett.
Please welcome Drake Lopez to the blue corner.
Drake Lopez. So strange seeing him here. We always see him in San Antonio. And Drake Lopez, he said he's focused after his last loss. He's a guy that I love watching. I think Drake's style is fun. He's really focused on himself, but last time out, Michael, it was a tough loss.
Yeah, tough loss, and especially after the fight before, where he had such a quick submission, very smooth transition, showed off his jiu-jitsu a little bit, and then to lose by submission in your next fight, I mean, I think it was a little heartbreaking for him. So, you know, the fact that he focused on this and, you know, the fact that he, you know, decided that, you know, I'm going to focus on, you know, fight game plan and all these other things that go along with the fight. You know, the skill level, Alex, he's got it. Just the focus maybe wasn't there before.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of the most explosive guys you'll ever see fight, and he's very, very aggressive. He starts fights very fast. And I know in his last fight he lost, but he lost because he kept on like forcing submissions in a scramble and actually ended up getting his back taken. But what's won him so many fights is kind of what lost him that last fight. So you can't really have one without both. But I know he is trying to be a bit more measured. And I'm sure we'll see, I don't know about more patience, but at least more calculated routing when he's on the ground.
Yeah, that was it. He had a really deep guillotine attempt, then shot for that armbar over and over, and then left himself open, got tapped. But we'll talk about that throughout the night. Let's meet his opponent first.
Please welcome to the red corner, Tonio Figeredo.
All right, do yourself a favor and look up Tonio Figeredo against Herman Ponce, because that kick that Tonio Figeredo threw, it was one of the most brutal finishes with a kick I've seen inside the Fury FC cage, and that's how Tonio Figeredo got his first win ever.
Yeah, you know, whenever you get a win like that, you know, the expectations for your second one and everyone there beyond become very, very high. And so hopefully, you know, you realize that those kind of wins are great to have, but they're not all going to go like that. You know, you go in there expecting to hit that, and all of a sudden it doesn't happen. As long as it doesn't mess you up whenever it doesn't happen, you know, you should be fine. But what a way to win your first fight, Alex.
Yeah, and it's so funny. Tonio's style is so different than Drake's. Drake is like, I'm going to start instantly right now in your face. Tonio is super patient, uses a lot of feints, will switch his stance, is really a master of range. And in his last fight, he threw 3 strikes. All of them landed, and the third strike, the head kick, was the only one he needed. I mean, he is like an assassin. He is like a sniper. It's interesting because they both hold tremendous power for this weight class, but I think the difference is the routing they take to get there.
Let's take a look at our tail of the tape, brought to you by Howler Head Whiskey. Unleash the monkey spirit. Height advantage, reach advantage for the 25-year-old Tonio Figeredo. And after that, connect on the kick that instantly put Herman Ponce out. Tonio held back, didn't put any more damage on Ponce, which was also, you know, good to see. Good sportsmanship. Both guys are inside. Let's get our official introduction.
The following contest, brought to you by Howler Head Whiskey, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC Flyweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 125.8 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, today he looks for his 3rd win as a pro. Here is Drake Lopez. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, his professional record stands at 1 win, no losses. This is Tonio for show Figeredo. Your referee in charge, Danielle Guevara.
All right, 3rd fight on our prelims broadcast. Blue gloves for Drake Lopez, red for Tonio Figeredo. And there's that hot start that we're so familiar with Drake Lopez. Just pushing the pace, getting in close.
Drake Lopez with his very aggressive style.
Tonio, a little bit of a counterpunch, yeah. If you really try to keep aggressive guys away with the jab, you know, they'll just try to swing through and go over the top. So you can see Tonio's doing a really good job circling to both sides, but I mean, he's got to get his back off the cage. Drake's doing a really good job pressuring.
And Drake landed 2 big overhand rights.
Counter striking of Tonio Figueredo. Oh. It's the shell of Drake. Oh, man, stiff right.
Very accurate punch.
Man, very fast hands, too. You talk about the patience of Figeredo, but, man, his hands are extremely fast. When he pulls the trigger, they get there quick.
Yeah, Tonio went the distance with Josh Van in their final amateur fights.
And Tonio also took 2 years off. Came back in that last fight against Herman Ponce. Really looked different. I mean, the striking was super crisp. We already know he has a great wrestling background.
Tonio doesn't use it that often, but his wrestling is very sharp as well.
Oh.
A good jump switch knee.
Yeah, and that knee landed kind of on the way down, Alex, so it didn't have the force it might have if it had caught him on the way up, but did land nonetheless.
Tonio's range management really strong with his footwork, even with that lead hand fight.
Yeah, Tonio's really good at making that jab extra long.
Notice he doesn't miss by much at all. He makes good choices on when to throw. Oh, that was a good left hook over the top.
Yeah,
sometimes right on the temple. Man, he's out.
Oh, man, Tonio Figueredo looking for the finish. Is this going to be enough? That is it.
Oh, wow.
Tonio Figueredo gets his second win with the finish of Drake Lopez.
Man, he threw that big left hook over the top. And man, when those shots clip you like above your ear, it just throws your equilibrium off. I mean, sometimes you don't even feel them, sometimes they don't hurt, but your feet just kind of go out from underneath you. And I think that's what we just saw happen.
You had a little delayed response there from Drake Lopez. Kind of fell down and tried to stand back up, and man, Tonio was all over him. Daniel Guevara letting that fight go, and Drake was trying to fight back. And as soon as there you see a little bit of a delayed reaction going down, and there it goes again, those big right hands. You see Drake trying a little bit to get up, but he wasn't going anywhere. That's a good stop.
That was a good stoppage.
Man, I would love to get one more look at that because the connect wasn't as flush. It was just like a graze.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, the knuckle, like clips the temple and the rest of your weight goes behind it in the hand. I mean, the physics of punches are so almost incalculable. I mean, yeah, that was a good overhand left, just right above his ear.
There's another look at that finish. Tonio Figueredo gets his second win ever. Let's make things official. Here is Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Daniel Guevara calls for a stop to the fight 3 minutes, 9 seconds into the very first round, declaring a winner by TKO, Tonio Figueredo.
I'm here with your winner, Tonio Figueredo. Tonio, Drake Lopez, typically an aggressive fighter coming in, came in with that aggressive style. You were able to get that smooth striking down very, very fast and get the finish.
Yes, sir. Man, I thought he was going to shoot. I thought he was going to be a wrestler, and it threw me off. Him trying to stand in there with me. And so I just had to find my rhythm, you know what I mean? And once I found it, it was there. I was getting my confidence. I'm not going to lie, the first few minutes, he was fucking me up, and I was surprised.
But hey, I did what I had to do. Your boy Tonio for sure is in the house. Let's fucking go. Make some fucking noise, y'all. Let's fucking go.
Tonio, you've had two pretty awesome finishes here. That head kick knockout in your last fight, and now this. What do you want next?
I already told Eric, book me for December 15. I wanted to do 3 fights this year. Monday, my teammates gonna see me at the gym, and I'm gonna be putting in the work for December 15. Lastly, I just want to thank everybody in my corner. I want to thank my wife. I want to thank my coaches. I want to thank everybody that supported me, all my teammates. I got my ass bit during practice. I do this for y'all, and I'm happy. I'm happy I'm here.
Well, Tonio, I firmly believe you are going to be a superstar in this sport, and I can't wait to see you again December 15th. Your winner, Tonio Figueredo.
All right, you heard the man, Eric. Let's sign that contract for December 15th. Might be a little bit harder finding a fighter to go against him, but let's get that done. And there you see President Eric Garcia. Huge win for Tonio Figueredo. That leaves us with 2 more fights on the prelims broadcast. Let's meet our next fighter.
Please welcome to the blue corner, Amber Terrell.
Amber Terrell, second time inside the Fury FC cage, coming off that loss to Christine Tykwenko at FC 96 back in August. It was a tough fight for her. Obviously, she lost, but she showed so much heart and resilience. But there's only so much damage one fighter can take.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing that happened to Amber Terrell was the 105-pound division going away. She is so small, and, her opponent in her last fight was so big.
Yeah, she was.
And, the size difference is just a lot to overcome. I mean, just in height alone. I mean, she's almost a foot taller. But Amber Terrell she's a dog, man. I train with this girl. We meet at open mats on Sundays, and, I'm 200 pounds. She's 100 pounds. She is not afraid to roll. She is not afraid to attack submissions. She's very, very good, and, she's got the stomach for it. She's an ER nurse when she's not fighting people, but I really like Amber Terrell. She's a great human being.
Yeah, she's super active as well. This is her 8th professional fight. I feel like we were just watching her fight for the amateur belt, just a couple of years ago. She was a very active amateur. It's good to see her already back in the cage.
All right, Amber is inside, and so let's meet her opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Andrea Amaro.
Andrea Amaro, a.k.a. Piggy. I'll never forget that nickname. Remember last time out, and she has the best walkout shirts. You see Piggy walking in from El Paso, Texas, riding a 4-fight win streak, second time here inside the cage at Fury FC. And she got a huge win over Wendy Anderson. And the story, remember that night, she absolutely broke the spirit of Wendy Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, Wendy is a submission machine. I mean, she is called Bonesaw for a reason, because she will break your bones. And Andrea just outpaced her. It was too heavy of a pace, and just broke her will in that fight, and and took it over. And she's very, very tough, very good gas tank. I mean, she was 5-1 as an amateur, so this woman is used to winning. Her only loss as an amateur was to Vanessa Demopoulos, who of course fights in UFC now.
Yeah.
Andrea Amaro is inside. Let's get our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, brought to you by SheathUnderwear.com, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC Strawweight Division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist is 5 feet 2 inches tall, and she weighed in at a perfect 115 pounds. Fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas, today she looks for her 4th win as a pro. Here is Amber Terrell. And introducing her opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 1 inch tall, and she weighed in officially at 114.8 pounds. Fighting out of El Paso, Texas, she holds a professional record of 5 wins, 2 losses. This is Andrea Piggy Amaro. Your referee in charge, Danielle Guevara.
Danielle Guevara with the assignment. Both women inside, ready to go. Blue gloves for Amber Terrell and Piggy Andrea Amaro in the red.
I love Fury's gloves. Not only are they good quality and a good model, but they're red and they're blue. Because these girls wearing the exact same outfit.
We're starting out with a lot of activity. You know, she moves a lot around the pocket. Andrea catching that kick and has a body lock.
She's doing a good job staying topside. I mean, was in on that single, killed the inside trip, killing the body lock.
Doing a good job keeping her foot on the outside. Not giving up her back.
You know, we always hear fighters talk about they have great endurance, great cardio. Andrea Amaro used to be a collegiate runner, was a 2-time NJCAA half marathon national champion, and a 4-time All-American.
Wow.
She has legit cardio. It's
explains
different.
it. Yeah.
Running cardio is different, and that endurance is different, but she has a gas tank on her.
So, absolutely, it's you know, it's a long time. Oh, good exchange with the girls as they clinch back up. But I don't know if you guys have seen, I mean, I'm sure you guys have run miles, and like a 7-minute mile is really good. Those marathoners who set records, they run at like between a 6 and 7-minute mile. Some of them below that. To me, that's a sprint. One 7-minute mile is hard. I can't believe doing it for 13 or 26. So, I mean, I know it's more long-term, but still, that's good explosive work, making it look easy.
Yeah, those numbers, you sometimes look at them, you go, how is this possible?
Man.
Yeah.
Was not built for that.
Yeah.
Only many people are.
I was proud of running a half marathon at the 2-hour mark, and then I looked at what the actual marathon numbers were for the pros, and it was near the 2-hour mark. And I said, all right, how can you do that
twice? I mean,
yeah, like how is that possible?
They're cheating. Every one of them take a shortcut. I think they're actually running like 18 miles or something.
Doing the taxi cab bit.
Yeah.
Right? Who was that runner who got in trouble one time running the Boston Marathon, I believe?
Took a cab.
Yeah, took a cab. No joke. It was either the Chicago or Boston Marathon, one of those.
Man, I'm surprised to see Amaro trying to wrestle this much. I mean, she's very scrappy. She showed that in her last fight. Maybe it's because she was fighting a grappler, so she had the advantage. She scores a really nice trip takedown there from the body lock.
Man, that might be the fastest I've ever seen anyone hit the ground. And once Amber left her feet, Andrea slammed her to the ground.
Under 2 minutes left in round 1. Andrea Amaro also pursuing a master's degree in clinical psychology.
It's good to see 2 smart ladies in here.
Yeah.
An ER nurse for Amber Terrell and my clinical psychologist. There's that dog fight. Amber Terrell will show you. She gets in trouble, she's going to start throwing. Oh, big right hand.
That explains why Amaro was choosing to wrestle so much. I think she knew Amber's probably best bet was just making it a scrap.
We saw her do that in that last fight where when she got some freedom to move around, she was just throwing a flurry of punches.
Yeah, she had some shining moments in that fight. It's just, you know, you're fighting someone who's so tall and also skilled, and you know, it's very, very difficult to continue that.
Amber Terrell told us that her 3-year-old son is always in the gym with her and training with her, which is so cool. You see that love for the sport develop at a young age. And we saw Justice Torres and his son earlier on our broadcast. You always see Justice posting his son working out with him.
Yeah, Justice's son looked like he was 3 years old, 4 years old, maybe. Best hands in the building.
October 6th, fighting for the title is Justice Torres, but inside right now, Andrea Amaro with 10 seconds left.
Finishing this round strong and mean. And on the back, active ground and pound for 30 seconds. So she didn't, their camp, they thought they would have an advantage on the ground. And I know maybe the first 2 minutes of the fight, her wrestling was pretty thoroughly defended. She hit that awesome body lock trip. And man, it was all Amaro, you know, from that takedown onward, finished in a really good position. I would not be surprised at all if we see her trying to enact that same exact wrestling at the very beginning of round 2.
Yeah, and Amber needs to be aware of that. I mean, she threw a couple kicks, and both times Andrea caught them, and that's how they ended up on the ground. And she was having so much success with her boxing and, you know, throwing those, making this a dogfight. I think she needs to stick to that strategy here in the second round. But I don't know, Piggy showing she can get down too. She was in there throwing some punches, not afraid to exchange with Amber. Also having that wrestling in her pocket, so not afraid to exchange. So she took one, changed levels, and let's get it to the ground.
Michael, did you have that on your bingo card this morning saying Piggy can get down too?
Yeah.
On your broadcast bingo card?
I didn't, but I'm going to put it on there every time she's here now.
Pressure up against the cage now for Piggy. Andrea Amaro does get it to the ground. Hands seem to be connected back there.
Right on the back again.
Yeah, as you called, Alex, taking this right back to the ground.
And
this time for a submission.
Yeah, the entry was actually Amber threw a jab into a right hook, and it was a good hard punch, but overshot it a bit. And it gave Amaro the ability to close the distance and attack this takedown, which eventually led to this back take.
Those were 3 brutal lefts that connected to the face of Amber Terrell.
These are 2 savage ladies right here. Both very accomplished inside and outside the cage. Piggy in control here, though. For those of you just tuning in, that's her fight nickname.
Yeah.
I didn't just call her that.
We're not being mean.
Yeah, she's in the mount now. Yeah, this has got to be the beginning of the end. If Amber can't get out of here, she has got to dedicate some energy to moving those legs and getting down, isolate, and getting. I mean, she has to shrimp out of here. You're gonna take some damage. And there she goes. She's elevating her a little bit. She may shake her off the top here. Needed to create an angle, and now she's flat.
Tough spot. This is the worst spot to be in.
Punches raining down for Andrea Amaro. Is this going to be enough? Is there a finish in sight for her, trying to turn Amber Terrell?
Man, she could find herself a stoppage. Amber's doing a good job. She finally built her base. That's what you need in this scenario. You have to build your base. You cannot be belly down. She's got to get up to her knees. And you can't turn, but you get mounted. It's not much better.
Oh, these are raining down. Danielle Kavar getting close, and that is it. Andrea Amaro continues that win streak and takes it to 5 in a row. And keeps that record perfect as well, of course, inside the Fury FC cage. Moves that record overall to 6-2. And Andrea Amaro is building something special, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, she has got to be getting close to getting a call to Contender Series or something. I mean, 6-2 at 115 and, you know, finishing fights. I mean, she's very, very good everywhere. Striking is pretty good. But her ground game, you know, and the transitions are excellent.
Yeah, that was impressive. We've seen her strike well in her past fights with our grapple exceptionally well in this fight. TKO finish from the mount. Can't hope for anything better than that.
Piggy Andrea Amaro, man. Get that fight shirt on. You got it. That's one of the best fight shirts I've seen. And for Amber Terrell, you know, Michael talked about it. That 105 division would have been so perfect for her. But she goes in there and she has one of the toughest spirits inside or on our Fury roster by far. Let's make things official. Here is Wayne Luggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Danielle Guevara calls for a stop to the fight. 2 minutes, 26 seconds into round number 2. Declaring a winner by TKO, Andrea Piggy Amaro.
I'm here with your winner, Andrea Amaro. Another dominant performance. Here you find yourself in the 115 division at 6-2. Andrea, how do you feel right now?
I feel amazing, and first, all thanks to God, and I couldn't do it without my team and people here for me. They sacrificed a lot this past month and a half for me, so I feel awesome.
Andrea, coming into the fight, Amber Terrell is known as a dog. I mean, she likes to get in there and she will brawl with you as much as you can. She loves to exchange. What's the game plan to get this fight to the ground?
I knew she was a dog, but I mean, it was just how any way I can get it.
Well, it looked very impressive. My next question is very important to you. How do you feel like you fare against the rest of the 115-pound division, even in the UFC?
You know, I don't know. I'm pretty good. That's all I know. And I'm just willing to be with whoever they want to put it in front of me. I'm all good.
Well, it was very impressive again. You had a very tough opponent. I can't wait to see you again here or there. Your winner, Andrea Amaro.
Congratulations to Andrea Amaro. Piggy gets the win and continues that win streak, takes it to 5. With that, we have one more fight left, but we will be taking a quick break. And we will be back. Do not turn this stream off. We're going to take a little break, and we will be back with our final fight of our prelims broadcast. Joseph Aguilar taking on Sebastian Oyervidez in his debut as a pro. Keep it right here. Keep that stream up. Do not refresh it. It will be right here on this stream. We'll be right back after a short break. All right, thank you for sticking around. We have one more fight left on our prelims broadcast, and then we will be heading to UFC Fight Pass for Fury FC 96 at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And just to reiterate, thank you for sticking around. Michael Alexander here, Alex Morono, I'm Rahil Ramzanli. So let's get our final fight going and go inside to Wayne Leggett.
Please welcome to the blue corner, Joseph Aguilar.
All right, Joseph Aguilar coming out to Dancing Queen. I love it every time.
He always has great walkout songs.
I absolutely love it. Kid Lightning is a very exciting fighter, but the one thing on him is, can he avoid making that big mistake? Right? Because you know he has a talent, and he has a love for fighting, and he'll get in some battles, and he'll just make that one mistake. Can he avoid those?
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to walk the line between loving to fight and coming up with a good strategy. And I think, you know, Joseph Aguilar is one of those guys, he just loves to fight. Where the fight goes, he'll go there with you, whether it's part of his strategy or not. So, you know, he's really good in all areas. Man, he just hasn't put it all together yet, but I have a feeling that he's on his way up.
Yeah, he looks notably more physical right now. Looks like a really good fight camp. He's very explosive. He's certainly most dangerous in the first minute of the first round. Always fun guy to watch.
All right, Kid Lightning is inside, so let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Sebastian Oyervidez.
Sebastian Oyervidez. Man, this is unbelievable. All right, Careless Whisper taking on Dancing Queen in the walkout songs. This is incredible. I love it. But Sebastian Oyervidez finally making that debut.
Yeah, walkout song battle here before the fight even starts. I love it. Yeah, Sebastian Oyervidez, 4-0 as an amateur, all 4 submissions. This dude is a submission ace, Alex. He's really quick in his transitions. Maybe the quickest I've seen.
Yeah, he's hit, I believe, 1 guillotine, 3 rear naked chokes. Yep. And man, his ability to trap the arm and hit that rear naked choke in like lightning speed. It's one thing to know the technique when you already have someone's back, but what he does is in his transition, he's capturing the arm. I mean, it really is high-level work. Oddly enough, after his last fight, it inspired me to really learn that system. I've been doing it for 4.5 months now, like daily, been teaching it all the time. And man, it just was cool to see such a youngster pull it off at such a high level.
We look at our Tell the Tape, brought to you by Space City Collective. Height advantage for the 19-year-old Sebastian Oyervidez, but the reach advantage goes to the 26-year-old Joseph Aguilar. Both fighters are inside. Let's get our introductions.
The following contest, brought to you by Space City Collective, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC Flyweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 125.2 pounds. Fighting out of Wharton County, Texas, today he looks for his 3rd win as a pro. Here is Kid Lightning, Joseph Aguilar. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, and he weighed in at 124.2 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, today he makes his professional debut. This is Sebastian Oyervidez. Your referee in charge of the action, Jeff Rexroad.
Jeff Rexroad inside. Joseph Aguilar with the blue gloves, 8th time inside the Fury FC cage. Red gloves for Sebastian Oyervidez in his debut. Big kick to open things up.
And every time I see Sebastian warming up, his striking looks so sharp, but his jiu-jitsu just that much sharper. And this is one of those fights, you know, can he get it to the ground? He already has before the opening statements. Aguilar's just got to be on his P's and Q's defensively, really try to work ahead and get up. I mean, you see Oyervidez has that deep underhook, finishes that cut-through pass. transitions to mount. Aguilar turns. I mean, just in a second, he'll be on his back.
Yeah, and if he continues to, elevate those arms while he's, being mounted. Oyervidez, well, there it is.
Oh, man,
right
there's
there.
that. Wow.
Another beautiful transition.
Man, that...
Out of nowhere. I mean, in an escape transition, just under the armpit, bridged into it. You can see Aguilar's grabbing his wrist, and that was deep. Those were those elbow-cracking arm bars.
Yeah, that's a high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner in there beating people up in the MMA cage, Alex.
I don't want to be hyperbolic here, but that was his first win. He's one of those guys that we could see make that Josh Van trip to the UFC, just catches fire. I mean, he is unbelievable how...
That was his fifth fight. His fifth finish in the first round. He's not taken a single punch. He's not missed a single takedown. I mean, he has had 5 flawless victories. I mean, truly 5 flawless victories. And he's, 19 years old?
19.
I mean...
Man.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Let's make things official. Here's Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 47 seconds into the very first round. Declaring your winner by tap out due to an armbar, Sebastian Oyervidez.
I'm here with your winner, Sebastian Oyervidez. Sebastian, there are not a lot of debut fighters that will take a fight against a 7-fight pro as tough as Aguilar. You did it here, made very short work of it.
We do this. We do this at Thuggy. We do this at Urban Jungle. I'm feeling great. It's looking like November and December, looking real good right now. And I'm trying to get right back in there. Let's do it.
Yeah, there's a card October 6th. You didn't take any damage. You could probably be on that one. But Sebastian, I know you always have a great camp. You're always training. You're only 19 years old. You have some of the most beautiful submission transitions I've ever seen at any level.
Man, I appreciate the words. We got a lot to work on. My jiu-jitsu can get better. My striking can get better. I can be better. But as for now, thank you so much for everybody that came out. I hope y'all liked the performance.
Sebastian, how does this feel to have a crowd like this, to be in front of your home crowd, to have a performance like that against a savvy veteran? How does that feel?
They've been with me since the beginning, and it's going to stay like that. And we're going to keep rising up, and we're just going to keep that momentum going. Let's go.
Sebastian, I think you're on your way up, and I think you're going to get there. Your winner, Sebastian Oyervidez.
Congratulations to Sebastian Oyervidez. And that will wrap things up here for our prelims broadcast of Fury FC 96. We will head to UFC Fight Pass at 4:30 p.m. We will see you there for Garule versus Silva. For the entire Fury FC team, for our DNA Studio Productions team, for Alex Morano and Michael Alexander, I'm Rahil Ramzanali. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you on UFC Fight Pass at 4:30 p.m. Woo!